It's the pulse of the city.
Oh, yeah.
On 103.7 The Beat.
Welcome back to the Pulse of the City radio show. On this Friday morning, it is June 11th. We'll tell you a little bit about David Takitaki. He's a native of West Michigan with a lifelong commitment to positive change. Born to Spring Lake native Catherine Barbrick and Tango immigrant Michael Takitaki, David owes his curly hair and his tan to his father's Polynesian heritage. Contrary to urban legend, he is not a prince. Now, this is from his bio, but this is what I know about David Takitaki. He was a long-time security manager for Rush Street, where he came to interaction with all different races and was loved by everybody, still loved by everybody. I know him as a TV show host who has a political news TV show that comes on MCC. I know him as a political science expert, as a professor at MCC, so very popular. And when I found out you were running for 92nd District, welcome to the show, David Takitaki. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, PA. Thanks for having me on.
Glad to have you here. How long have you been contemplating this run for 92nd District?
Well, I think that public service has been something I've always considered. I always wanted to find a way in which I could help the community, and for a long time I thought the best way for me to help the community was through education. But I've seen far too many of my friends and family members suffering in this economy and with some of the political realities we're facing today. So I decided to make that jump from studying and teaching politics into practicing politics. So I think this race has been on my mind for about a year or so. And now it's becoming a reality.
Wow. How has the support been so far since your announcement?
I've been very, very surprised by the support. You always hope that you're well known and liked in the community, and it's been amazing to find out just how well known I am and just how much people are getting behind this race and the things that I'm trying to do for Muskegon.
Right. What do you plan to do? What do you plan to do at Lansing? Is there some particular problems that you'd like to fix?
Well, I think that if you take a look at my platform, there are three things that I'm looking to address specifically. The first, of course, is trying to find a way in which we can have prosperous communities in this area once again. And that entails having living wage jobs, that entails having good streets, good roads, that entails having a community that we can be proud of. And so I have a number of different policies that are engineered to try to bring those different things forward. But we also need efficiency in our governmental practices. Government can't simply become complacent. There's a room for continuous improvement, and that's a term from the business world, but continuous improvement in the policies that we put forward in government. Just like us, government will have to deal with new challenges, new problems as they emerge. And just like us, they're not always going to get it right the first time. But it is through revisiting those policies, through learning, through gaining wisdom, and then through modifying those policies to make sure that taxpayer dollars are spent most efficiently, most effectively, that I believe we can gain a great deal of resources out of government that we're currently wasting. And then the third anchor of my plan is effective education. We need to be able to create two things with our educational system. We need to be able to create skilled workers who have the ability to go out into the community and get living wage jobs. But we also need to create informed citizens. And if you imagine these 3 points in a triangle shape, you can kind of see that a prosperous community provides a culture of support for effective education. And a prosperous community provides a good tax base and political direction through the voting process for effective education. For efficient government. Right. Efficient government then provides fundamental services, police, fire, social justice, right, to guarantee a prosperous community. And they provide direction and curricular standards for effective education. Right. So all the three of these things really work together in order to move Michigan forward, and that's what I want to concentrate my legislative efforts on.
Now, critics and communists will say that our state is broke, and how do you fix a state when there's no money there?
Absolutely. There is money in Michigan, and it's oftentimes due to our antiquated tax structure and a general feeling of hopelessness that people don't believe that money is available. We have, let's just say here in Muskegon, Muskegon has been built since its inception on the backs of working men and women. We're a hard-working, blue-collar, get-it-done kind of town.
Right.
And there are people here who want to work. That is money in the bank. That's human capital that is waiting to be tapped. And once it is tapped, by doing things like bringing in new businesses, by doing things like developing original equipment manufacturing for things like alternative energy, those things generate money in the system. Also, we've got a flat income tax rate here in Michigan, meaning that the same percentage that somebody makes $10,000 pays is the percentage that somebody who makes $10 million pays. And we've seen since the last 35 years a continuing inequality of wealth, so that the rich are getting richer and wealth is being focused at that upper end of the system. And the belief at the time was that would lead to job creation, that giving job creators money would lead to entrepreneurism and the like. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, and we don't have 30 years of documentation to show that money's not coming back down into the system.
Right.
I'm somebody who believes that anyone who is alone in the woods isn't going to be rich. Those who are enjoying wealth and luxury today are only doing so because of the system that supports them. Even if you come up with an idea all on your own and take it to market, your customers need roads and schools and police services to make the money that they make that they use to buy your stuff.
Right.
So it's my belief that those who are gaining the most from the system, those who are extracting the most from the system, owe the most back to its maintenance. And I think that's simply fair.
Right.
And that's much of where I think we can get the initial capital to start moving Michigan forward. And as we know, once you give somebody an opportunity, once you give somebody the chance to earn a living, to work from day to day, to pay their own bills and get that independence back, then you'll see those people take off.